up, bro? Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I want to get into a couple of my audits. I got a few that it's like the left side of my screen doesn't work when I go live. I don't know why. So yeah, this dude was hilarious. This little guy.
I'm here to do a piece of work. Bro, you can't go down the block, all right? Bro, we just do you. Who are you now? I'm Secret Service, and I do have something on me that tells you that you can't go down the block. Just get your bike wheel off. All right, can you go away? Like, you can't go down the block. You can't, bro, you, first off, calm down. Yeah, I'm not talking on taxpayer. Because and? What do you mean, and? Call a supervisor. Call your supervisor. Sergeant House, come to 606, please.
What bothers me so much, right? Now in this particular situation, I was actually going to a meeting. I had something to do, and I'm on the bus. I'm taking a bus. I take a look. I'm like, what's going on here? Some chick on the bus. She says, "Oh, United Nations." So I'm like, oh, let me hop off the bus, see what's going on. Long story short, these guys shut down not only where the United Nations is. If anybody's familiar with Manhattan, where that area is, the United Nations, I forget what river that is. I don't know if that's the Harlem River Drive. The Hudson's on the other side. So that might be the Harlem River Drive. Basically, it's all the way at the edge of that. And there's a block before it. These dudes blocked off the block not only prior to getting to the United Nations, but the block before that. The thing that I looked at, I'm saying, well, there's no way they're gonna be telling people they can't walk down the block if there's apartments on these blocks, mind you. So it's not just like businesses. There are people who actually live in these blocks. So it's like I'm sure when they went to get these apartments, nobody said, hey, your realtor takes you. They give you a gist of the place. Hey, it's a quiet area. Down the block we got Starbucks. Up the block we got Food Panda. We got I guarantee you, the majority of these people never knew they was gonna have to deal with this nonsense. So it was real crazy to me, like when this guy started acting like so crazy, just out of nowhere.
I am gonna have an attitude with you because the man just told you to have an attitude and go down the block and you're not listening to nobody. So what's the issue? How do you know my business is? Can you show him identification that you can go down the block? I don't have to show you identification to go down the New York City block. Actually, you do because it's a secure zone. Oh, you do? I just seen several people walk by who didn't know. I saw it. I have it on camera. I have it on camera. Okay, well then maybe you didn't see it. You got the short man complex. Relax. Bro, calm down. Don't try to play me, all right? Calm down. No, I am playing you. You have a short man complex. We can do this all day, all right? Your supervisor's on the way? Yeah, he's coming down the block. All right. I'm here to do a...
Now it's crazy because in the comments, emails, Facebook, all that. Yeah, it's on the FDR. So yeah, what trips me out is like not his behavior, it's the people who come in the comments and send the emails and say like, why are you such a loser? Like, it doesn't make me feel any kind of way. The only thing that actually does make me feel is I wonder, like, what's wrong with people? Like, if you're an American, if you're not from America, I get it. My girl, she's actually from Thailand, so when she sees me do these videos, she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand it. She's like, are you okay? Like, is there something we need to talk about? She doesn't get it because she doesn't have a concept of a constitution, of freedom, of laws. Like in other countries, it's just the cops are the big bad wolf. You see them, you go the other way. They tell you to do something, you try to do as much as you could do for them without it causing you money. Like, but when Americans come into the comments and they tell me, like, what's the problem? What's the point? Now, on this particular day, and again, mind you, I'm in Thailand, so there's a lot of things going on. Usually, I'm down to push it like to the extent. So, being that I had someplace to be, I didn't want to miss that by possibly getting arrested or have an issue happen with my passport, even though they wouldn't decline my passport for such a minuscule situation like that. But maybe whenever they had the court hearing, if it interfered with my traveling, obviously that would be annoying. So I didn't push it as far as I usually would. But the issue is that's a residential block. And as I said to him in I think the next video is like, imagine you live on that block. Like, who are you to tell people they need to show you their ID? I need to show you where I live. I need to prove something to you. Your Secret Service, you're in charge of what, I guess, taking care of the president. I guess they also used them. I wasn't aware, but now I am. They used them to deal with the UN, getting world leaders from point A to point B, which is cool. But you can't stop. Like, we're the heart and soul of New York. You're gonna inconvenience people. For all that, what they should do is they should turn that whole area into like UN housing. If you want to stop people from going, like, it just doesn't make any sense that you think you could stop people from walking down residential blocks. It's like, I had this conversation with somebody a while back when they were doing this stuff. They come in with their nonsense. It's cool, but my purpose too is not to ignore them. Like, I want them to stick around so they could get it, because eventually something's gonna happen to somebody they love, whether it be their mother, their sister, their father. They're gonna look and they're gonna say, "Wow, like, this guy had a point. Brooklyn had a point. Uh, Good guy had a point. David NY had a point." Like, there's a reason why they constantly need to be challenged, because what they're doing, it doesn't make sense. You can't tell a tax-paying person who pays their taxes. I forget. I'm gonna look it up as I'm talking, but there's an act, or not an act, but the freedom of movement. It's in the Constitution. You can't stop somebody's freedom of travel. This was the second video.
See the little guys that they hired? Funny man. Okay. Secret Service. Okay. No, this dude giving an issue. Trying to come down the block, and he told him to go to pound. He can't come down the block. So what is that you showed me? Is that your badge number? I don't even know what that is. It says Secret Service. It says police on the back. Yeah, I could buy one of those. Okay, cool. Do you have a badge number? All right, come on, my badge 2216. There you go. And your name? Officer Gill. There you go. Thank you. And your supervisor's still coming, right? He's still coming. This is America, bro. You can't just do what you want. Somebody would have to show you ID to get to their house? Yes. That's crazy. No. Yes. Do you have to show ID to get to your house? People, do you? See the little guys that they hired? Funny man. Okay. Secret Service. Okay. No, this dude giving an issue. Trying to come down the block, and he told him to go to pound. He can't come down the block.
No, let me find a better copy of that before I. So this is when. What happens in this one? To get to their house? Yes. That's crazy. No. Yes. Do you have to show ID to get to your house? People, do you understand? I'm from New York. I'm from New York, so I could go where I want to go in New York. Right now, you cannot go anywhere. All right, and we're gonna get to the bottom of that. We're gonna figure it out. You're not gonna go down the block, so. admin 14S1.5.3.1.2 interstate travel, 14th Amendment, Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. No state shall make or enforce a law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of the law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. The doctrine of right to travel actually encompasses three separate rights, of which two have been notable for the uncertainty of their textual support. The first is the right of a citizen to move freely between states, a right vulnerable for its longevity but still lacking a clear doctrine basis. The second, expressly addresses by the first sentence of the Article 5, provides a citizen of one state who is temporarily visiting states of privileges of another. The third, of a new arrival state establishes citizens of the state to enjoy rights, benefits of other states, which requires persons. This isn't what I'm looking for there. There's doctrine that specifically, this is from Cornell Law School. And I mean, I guess they're citing the 14th Amendment in each part of it, but this isn't exactly what I was looking for. There was something I was reading a while back about every citizen has the right to move freely within the constructs of America without being stopped, harassed, detained unlawfully without the commission of a crime happening. So essentially, unless there's a police investigation taking place, later you'll see I asked police officers, like, what's going on? Like, I want to be able to look up and understand why. Like, why is it not allowed? I think it was this guy.
United Nations General Assembly. And what if you live here? You live here? What if you live here? You live here. I don't have to tell you where I live. So you can't be here. So you're telling me New Yorkers, Americans, we're not allowed to go down streets where residential blocks are. I could be going to see my grandmother. You don't know what I'm doing.
Listen, everyone's going through this. It's not just you, all right? So you don't have to cause problems. I mean,
but you guys are causing a problem. It's a New York block.
Nobody's causing a problem.
Can I just get your business cards?
Yeah, you can go right ahead. Right.
Appreciate that.
My name and my shield number up there, all right?
Thank you.
There you go. All right? Can I get out of here? Or?
I'd just like to talk to your captain as well. He never came.
Excellent.
Appreciate that.
All right, so you got all of our information, all right?
I'm still waiting for his captain.
All right, man.
The funny thing is, the guy says I'm causing a problem. How exactly am I causing a problem? This lady, she got hard. She was pissed. Caught her watching a movie.
Captain watching a movie. It's not a lunch break. She's watching a movie. On duty.
Her watching a movie. Unfortunately, when I came next to the car, the live started messing up.
Can I ask you for your business card? You mind? You don't have one? What's your name? I don't want to walk up on you. I know you guys don't like that. What is it? Andrea? Yep. All right, what movie were you watching, if you don't mind? Have a good night. She wasn't watching a movie. You guys hear this? You guys hear this? It wasn't movie time in the NYPD.
I actually went live. I went live for that one. Yeah, the doctrine rights, that's what it's called, doctrine of right to travel. I'll look that up. Look like a real jerk off trying to quote something and I didn't have it right in front of me. But yeah, essentially, all Americans, it's funny because, again, no, I have to keep reiterating this. People try to make it out to be something it's not. My mother's an immigrant. She came to America, what am I think she 37, 38 years ago. She did everything the right way, right? I don't have it, I have nothing against immigrants. My mother's an immigrant. But there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. I'm somebody who still works. I get up, I go to work every day. Sometimes I get off work late at night. I get on the train. I can't even sit down on the train after doing a 16-hour shift. Why is that? It's because we got New Yorkers, less fortunate, who are sleeping on the trains. You get try to sit down. I've got some of the videos. I'll put them up. There's literally people laid out on each side of the train. Maybe there's space for like 4 people to actually sit down on the train, especially the winter's coming up in New York. So it gets even worse then. So for me, it's the disrespect of how are you going to allow people, again, we go to work, we contribute to this pot called taxes, and the money that they're taking from us, it's supposed to be in the best interest of the country to make it a better place. Every year, we should constantly be going up, right? We should go from 100 people sleeping on the street each year down to 90, down to 80, until our number's 0. We should be so well taken care of as a country. But that's not what's going on. In my opinion, I can't say it for a fact because I don't know, but it's a lot of political warfare in which Democrats and Republicans are fighting for votes, and the party who I believe is things aren't looking so well for them, they're allowing immigrants to come in because they want those votes. But what's also happening is, as you can see in New York, they're busing them in. It's insane. When I come into New York, TSA is going to freaking give me a prostate exam. They're going to make me jump through hoops. They're going to ask me how long I was out of the country, why I was out of the country for this long. Probably going to send me to secondary. It's always the craziest hassle for an American to get back to America. As opposed to, you're seeing like at the border, there's literally thousands of people just walking across. I mean, I'm assuming when they get them in a building, do they do a pat down then? Do they go through some type of screening then? Somebody could be bringing in the guy could be living better than me and you in a couple of days. He comes in, right, from Texas or Arizona. He gets a bus to New York. He's got 2 kilos in his book bag. He gets sent to a free hotel. He meets up with his buddy, sells those couple bricks. Guy's off to a better start than me and you. He came in free, didn't have to go through the same procedures as me and you. And for me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, we can help people once we help ourselves. You know, if you even look at my auditing videos, I'm walking to the police precinct and I'm stepping over people who are sleeping in the street. So before we take care of other people, we should be taking care of ourselves. That's just how I feel. So being that, you know, it all ties together. Freedom, you know, as Brooklyn said, the travel doctrine, Americans are less free to travel than people coming into the country illegally. And that bothers me. Like, it doesn't make any sense why I'm paying taxes for them to operate in this fashion. Let's get into something else here. So yeah, as some of you guys might know, I'm in Thailand, right? Actually, I shouldn't play that video because it's got Kanye's music in it, so I won't. This guy, I don't know what they did to him. Basically, they took his bike.
Yeah, bro. What happened with you? They arrested me because this nigga gonna tell me, nigga gonna be like, yo, bro, get out the way. I moved. Get out the way of what? I moved. So look, see, there's a street right here, and there's a sidewalk. He said move. I moved out of the way. Cars could pass perfectly fine. He's upset that niggas is talking shit to him. That the first thing he see when he see my back wheel is over the line, nigga gonna be like, yo, come here, where's your ID? I was like, I don't got an ID. Nigga gonna grab me. I'm like, alright, fuck it. Now they talking about they gonna keep my bike. Fuck it, man. I go buy one. Keep it. It's crazy, man. Sorry to hear that. Don't worry. Hopefully it goes.
See, so something like that, I look at it, and it's like you're taking this dude's bike, but he still has to pay to, like, whether you don't work, you still got to pay rent, right? You got to live somewhere. Got to live somewhere, so no matter what, you're part of the system. But you're taking this dude's bike while you're putting people in 5-star hotels. I mean, I know it's probably not a 5-star hotel anymore, but the Roosevelt Hotel was a 5-star hotel. This dude was hilarious. He walked up to me trying to scare me. He didn't see this shit coming.
I shouldn't be able. You see what I mean? You shouldn't be so close to me. I shouldn't be able. Get back up. No, you need to back up. You walked up to me. I shouldn't be able to touch you. You go ahead. Is there a problem? I gotta use the bathroom. You have to use the bathroom? Yeah. Okay. You like to use the bathroom? We can.
It's crazy because it wasn't premeditated, right? When he was walking up to me, I didn't think he was gonna get that close, and I don't know. It was just my reaction to him being such a creep and being so weird. So, just funny, naturally, I'm just like, let me show this guy, like, dude, or you guys preach officer safety. Like, why are you getting so close to me to where I could literally, slowly, very slowly, he couldn't even react fast enough to it because he's so close to me. He couldn't even see my hand coming up. So one hand's recording, the other one touches him on the shoulder. You see his reaction. But again, why is there such a lack of respect? Like, obviously I'm there, right? I'm recording. You would have to figure other police officers at some point saw it, had a conversation with me about it, but you're coming from wherever you're coming from and you're saying, okay, maybe I can intimidate this guy to a point where, you know, we could get him out of here and make him feel uncomfortable. Nah, bro, like you're gonna act like you're not a cop, so I'm gonna treat you like you're not a cop. If somebody walked up to me just in the street, I would probably take a step back first before touching them. If they took another, I'd say, hey, bro, look, I don't know you. Why are you so close to me? What's going on? What are we doing here? You know? But cops, like, they're not used to people, and that's part of one of the reasons I like to audit is you see how uncomfortable cops become. They're not used to somebody not being absolutely terrified of them. You know, you try to have, one of the things I try to do always is I try to not act ignorant, because then it just gives them excuse to say, like, part of the reason they prohibited cell phone use in the police precinct was, I think one or two guys, this is in a span of like 50 years. It was, I gotta look it up. I'll probably try to look it up now. Nobody goes into the police precinct. It's like somebody who's unhinged is gonna go into the police precinct with a knife or a gun to do something to cops. Like, you're going into their home base. They're more than likely. I think it was funny. Both those guys in those situations, they didn't die. I'm shocked about that. But somebody. The reason that all started was two guys. I think one had went in with a knife And the other one, he went in and like he didn't even do anything. He just came in with his phone and he was like berating police officers. I think he had a issue with one of the cops. You could tell by the conversation like they had some issue before, and he just called them a couple, this and that, and but from that, it turned into no cameras allowed in the police precinct, no filming. For me, I can personally tell stories about without giving too much details. There was an incident where I was actually assaulted. I was assaulted by a little Indian lady, right? She assaulted me, and I called the cops because basically what she wanted me to react to her hitting me so I could get arrested. Immediately, light bulb went off. I said, "Why would you do that?" I had it on camera. I called the cops. Essentially, the police report, they didn't put anything that actually happened on the police report. So I went back and forth, back and forth. Essentially, the doctor, I had minor injuries. The doctor sustained that, I had went to the hospital shortly after what happened. Actually, the police were the people that called the hospital, or called the ambulance. Long story short, the police put that it was just harassment, not assault, and that I had never got any medical treatment, which was false because obviously I had the paperwork for me being taken from the location to the ER. Long story short, I went back to the police precinct about 10 different times trying to get them to amend the report. I brought the doctor's notes, hospital notes, the I believe it was a FDNY. It's separate, so a lot of people don't know that. So like the ambulance is like one entity. You could go and get a report from the ambulance, what they witnessed when they're essentially the first responders besides the cops. So where they found you, the state they found you, what they noticed, what the injuries were. Then you go to the hospital, the ER, they have a whole different report. So they got the EMT report, and I have the ER report. And I'm trying to give it to the cops, and I'm saying, look, clearly the cop, he didn't put the right information. Like, you guys need to change it. They refused to amend the report, which it was part of a bigger thing. And they're like, we're not going to do it. So I go to my community councilman. I was living in Harlem at the time. I had them call the police precinct with me on three-way. And they said, what's going on? This guy, he keeps coming, this, that, and the other. Is he going to be able to submit this information? So the captain that we were talking to at this time said, yeah, like, if something was wrong with the report and he has information that would lead to the report being correct, yeah, of course. Like, we're not in the business of writing bad reports. I went back to the precinct. I tried to do it again. The conversation we had on the phone, he's like, I have no idea who you're talking about. Like, you wasn't talking to me. I'm like, yeah, we just called you guys at 12 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock now. You guys didn't do the shift change. You said you were going to be here until whatever time it was. I forget. But long story short, the captain, he wouldn't do it. He was just like, nah, it is what it is. Like, whatever they were reading in the computer, they were just like, nah, we're not doing it. We're not changing it. So I pulled out my phone. And I'm like, well, you tell me right now. So when I go back to my community councilman, dude, they started to threaten. I wasn't aware of the law at that time. Like, it had changed that you couldn't record. He's like, if you don't get out right now, you're gonna be arrested. I'm like, arrested, bro? I'm coming here to the police station for help instead of handling things like in an inappropriate manner. I'm coming to you guys to amend the report that you didn't correctly. They threatened me with arrest. It was like 4 of them before I knew about it. Made me get out the precinct. So like all this, for me, all this stuff is related.
Come Can I come in?
Sure, you can't record it then. There's no recording allowed.
No, but I can take you use the bathroom though. Nah, I'm good. What's your guys' names and badge numbers,
London?
business card, all that good stuff?
Yes, London 12864.
You handsome?
Vote 2061.
Can I have your business cards?
You want my business card? Sure. I have one on me. Oh, it's somewhere in
So
here.
you're just out here just chilling out? Just recording for the fun of it? What are you trying to You'll see. I mean, you know, you got the internet. I got the internet? Yeah. Do you have any a business card? Do you have any sort of
What's going on?
chilling?
What's up?
I shouldn't be able. You see what I mean? You shouldn't be so close to me. I shouldn't be able.
Get back up.
No, you need to back up. You walked up to me. I shouldn't be able to touch you. Is there a problem? Go ahead. Is there a problem? I gotta use the back.
Get your fucking hands off me. One of the funny things in this video that I noticed after, when I'm talking to him, and he says to me, what are you gonna do with it? I actually, mid in the conversation, I realized they could kind of try to take that as a threat. He says, what are you gonna do with it? What are you doing? What are you trying to do? And I said, you'll see. And it's so scary dealing with cops because they'll try to twist your words. Immediately when I said you'll see, I had to clean it up because I'm like, what if this scumbag tries to, they already see I'm not scared of them. So what if he tries to flip me saying you'll see, which could kind of loosely be taken as a threat. I'm like, let me clean that up and say you have the internet to make my, intentions clear. So crazy dealing with the cops. You got to be aware. Like, they try to do little dirty tactics. They'll try to, I've seen them, they haven't really tried to do it to me because I've called it out like mid when they're trying, but like they'll try to EDP you, which means like an emotionally disturbed person. So they'll say like, you got something going on with what Eric Adams did. He passed a law. So like now you don't need the patient's permission to take before police and the ambulance, they needed your permission in order to take you in for like psychiatric evaluation. Adams passed some type of referenda, whatever it was, law that's no longer necessary. So police don't need your permission to take you in. So basically they can retaliate to you recording them or giving them a hard time and say, oh, you're emotionally disturbed, and have you admitted to like a psychiatric thing. I've seen them do it to a couple people now. But yeah, so that's why I made sure to clean that up. I didn't want to leave it as kind of like an open threat, You got to be real careful when you talk to the cops, what you say, how you say it.
You have to use the bathroom? Yeah. Okay. You like to use the bathroom? We can take Can I come in?
Sure, you can't record it then. There's no recording allowed.
No, but I can take you use the bathroom though. Nah, I'm good. What's your guys' names and badge numbers, London? Business card, all that good stuff?
Yes, London 12864.
You handsome?
Vote 2061.
Can I have business cards?
You want my business card? Sure. I have one on me. Oh, it's somewhere in
So
here.
you're just out here just chilling out? Just recording for the fun of it? What are you trying to You'll see. I mean, you got the internet. I got the internet? Yeah. Do you have a business card?
Yeah, I had to clean that up. I didn't like the you'll see. I didn't like how that rang, Yeah, Brooklyn, bro. I'm not gonna lie, when you told that cop don't double park in my neighborhood, bro, that shit was like a classic like Bronx Tale line, like we'll double park in my neighborhood again. Dude, I was crying. I had to watch that video over like 15 times, just dying laughing. These schmucks smoking on the job. I think that I'm about to release the full video.
You guys are smoking cigars on the job? What the fuck is wrong with you? You guys are supposed to be police officers. Look at these guys. Jerk offs.
You alright, man?
Look at the one with the glasses. You guys have no idea.
Smoking cigars on the job. This is ridiculous. This guy that is in, and he's asking me what he's doing. You want me to shave your head a little bit more?
You see something in my hand?
Yeah, it's behind you.
What's behind you, bro? So what's your problem?
Look at this. Both of them. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Here's the other thing too, right? So to all the people who told me, they said, so what? What do you want the cops to not have a break? This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Let's say maybe they were on break, right? Let's give it to them. I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to say they were all on break, even though they weren't, because there shouldn't be 4 cops together. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize. Well, what would be the purpose, right, of having 4 cops take a break? You have a partner. You have a partner. And whether they're all stationed at that train station together, which I don't think they were, because they probably were. So would all 4 of them take a break and leave the station unmanned at a time? Or would 2 take a break, right? Go on break, leave the filthy train station, right? And the other 2 would stay. Like, that's what common sense would tell you. If you even I've been a security guard before, right? You don't have every security guard go on break together, because then who's doing security, right? So, and we'll break it down a little bit more. Why were they smoking in the little stairway, like kids? You know? Why are they smoking in the stairway like kids smoking weed in 1999? Why are you hiding down there? Because you know you're not supposed to be doing it. But still, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Actually, we're not. We're going to do one more. Why did they walk away? Why did they all look around clueless? And why did he play that game where he's twiddling and turning around? Right? They would have just looked at me, ignored me. But they know, just by the dynamics of it, they're hiding. I walked by. I saw them. It was like 3 in the morning. I'm like, I don't want to even mess with them. As I walked by, though, I guess the wind was blowing in that direction. I smelled the cigars. I said, oh, shit, bro. I didn't see them smoking cigars. I smelled it. So I walked. I'm like, oh, shit, they're smoking cigars for sure. I turned my phone on. That's why you see me come around that corner on an angle real slow. And boom, sure enough, I think that was a sergeant. If you look at his the stripes on his wrist, and that guy looked like a rookie. He was looking like for them to help. Like, what should we do here, guys? Long story short, let's give them all the benefit of the doubt, right? They're all on break, all at the same time, and I guess they could just smoke in uniform now. Why did they walk into the subway, which smoking is prohibited? All the people who were telling me I'm a jerk off, I'm a loser, I need to get a life, people are entitled to smoke breaks. Why did they walk into the subway with lit cigars? It's prohibited in the subway. It doesn't matter who you are. The president cannot walk into the subway and smoke cigars. So, like, that's kind of one of the things that I've been wanting to tell a lot of you guys who've been saying the same thing over. Oh, people take breaks. People are entitled to breaks. What purpose would they walk into the subway with lit cigars? Need I say more? They got busted, guys.
Are smoking cigars on the job? What the fuck is wrong with you? You guys are supposed to be police officers. Look at these guys. Jerk offs.
You alright, man? Yo.
smoking cigars on the job. This is ridiculous. This guy that is in, and he's asking me what he's doing. You want me to shave your head a little bit more?
You see something in my head?
Yeah, it's behind you.
What's behind me, bro? So what's your problem?
Look at this. Both of them. You should be ashamed of yourselves. See what else we got going on here. Sergeant tried to come out and bully me here.
Sir,
I'm minding my business. What are you doing?
what are you doing?
Minding my business. What are you doing?
What are you trying to record inside the precinct? Why are you trying to record inside the precinct?
What's your name and your badge number?
Lieutenant Fontaine.
All right.
What's the problem? Why are you trying to record inside the precinct?
Minding my business.
Don't try to record. You cannot record
I
inside
am
the precinct.
going to. I'm telling you I'm going to. So if you're going to do something, just do it now.
Record inside the precinct.
I'm going to. Do you have a business card? And he's breaking the law. Look at that. Look at this shit.
Station.
That's what he was. He sent two phones to do something he couldn't do. You're going to have to make a move and get sued. That's what you're going to have to do. I'm not going nowhere. What's up?
Can't be recording inside the precinct.
You got a business card? I'm going to.
I do not have one. You take my name.
I'm minding my business. What are you doing? What cops gotta understand is auditors aren't on the clock for the city. We're not on the clock for the city. So there's not a policy. We follow whatever particular auditor there is. He has a set of policies or rules that he goes by. As you see, some auditors are really aggressive, some are laid back, some are extremely professional, some turn it into comedy. I forget the guy's name. Dude is hilarious. He goes around with a fishing pole. I mean, everybody has their own style, right? So that's our policies, our style, how we go about doing audits. But the NYPD has a black and white piece of paper that tells them how they do things. So if you come and you approach me and you have a conversation with me, and I think what you're doing is incorrect, and I might want to possibly pursue legal action, make a complaint, you have to give me your business card. It's law now. It's not. A couple people said it's not the law in New York. It's the law. Believe the Right of Information Act. It's the law. You have to provide somebody your business card. It doesn't even matter if you didn't have an interaction with them. If you're a cop and I see you go behind the building and take a piss, and you get out your car, go down the stairs, take a piss in public, go back in your car, I have a right to then come and ask you for your business card. You can't say to me, I didn't have any interaction with you. I saw you do something you're not supposed to be doing, and I might want to make a complaint to the city. Depending on what you did, I might want to file a lawsuit. You should give me your business card. But as you can see, in a lot of cases, they break their own policies. This is another crazy thing I saw in New York. I was getting off the train one night. Now, the reason I took that is not to be cruel or to make fun. The reason is to show that in New York, bro, this is what we got going on. One of the most richest, profitable, we got Wall Street. You got a building called the World Trade Center, one of the most profitable, expensive places to live in the world. And we got people living on the street, New Yorkers, who can't get housing, who can't get mental health treatment, who can't get drug addiction treatment, but yet we're putting people in hotels. Again, it's not that I don't care about other people. It's before you can go to somebody else's house and clean up their house, you have an obligation like that. For me, that's a mental health issue, right? If my house has a hole in the ceiling, and I decide to wake up, look at the hole in my ceiling, and come to your house and help you build a pool, that doesn't make any sense. Like you would think, is something wrong with that? Is he doing it for like work? You're going over there to clean their house for what? Like to make money so you can fix your roof? No, they just need help with their pool, so I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart. But you got a hole in your roof, bro. Like you're not gonna take care of the hole in your roof. You're gonna help them build a pool. Like that's a luxury item. You need your roof to live like safely. So for me, that's how I put it in perspective with America. There's no way you should be taking on the world's problems. I don't even want to say what's going on right now in the Middle East, but most of the people know YouTube doesn't like when you talk about certain subjects. What's going on with Russia and Ukraine. Again, I'm not talking about it, just saying what's going on. We're spending trillions and trillions of dollars. Like, I believe the bill for this passed, well, when Trump was in office, or when Biden just came in office, I believe the bill for immigration at that time was like around, allegedly, I want to say allegedly because I don't have it in front of me, around $553 billion, because we would incarcerate them. If you incarcerate somebody, you then have to take care of them. So we were paying for them to be in jail. Then we actually had to pay for their lawyer fees. So you're jailing people who come across, but now we've stopped that and we're fully blown just bus ticketing them to their city of choice, Chicago. I'm not really sure about Cali, but Chicago, New York, I think Long Island now. It's just crazy. It's crazy. What up, Cash from New York? I be seeing you do your thing, bro. Keep it up. As I tell everybody, everybody's needed, bro. Everybody's needed. Every style is needed, right? And the reason every style of auditing is needed is because everybody deals with the police in a different manner, or everybody deals with people in a different manner, right? So a cop might approach somebody, and they might be from Switzerland, and they might have that type of demeanor. A cop or somebody might approach somebody from Baltimore, and that's a whole different demeanor. But it's always on the police officers to always act in the same professional manner. You gotta remember, cops are on the clock, you're not on the clock. So police have an obligation. They don't represent themselves, which when you're walking in the street, you represent what? Yourself and your family, right? Mainly yourself. When you put on that uniform and you get all that power and authority and the whole backing of the United States government, you have to have a certain level of professionalism you carry yourself with at all times. So it doesn't matter how somebody's talking to you, you still got to remain professional. I've worked for the Department of Education in a high school. So I say Department of Education in a high school, a public high school at that. So what does that mean? You got kids coming at you saying some of the craziest things in the world, right? You could just imagine New York City dealing with high school 15, 16, 17, 18. you're dealing with these type of kids. And I always had great, dialect and conversation with the students, but a lot of people didn't, because you're going through that teen rebellion. You're liable to say anything out of your mouth. And for me, I always realized, like, I'm getting paid to be here. Some of these kids, they don't even want to be here. They don't want to deal with this nonsense. I don't even want to get into it about schools right now, with what they're teaching kids and all that. But kids even back then were like, yeah, I'm over the whole school thing. So like, I always knew no matter what a kid said or did, no matter how disrespectful, I'm in a position of authority, and I have to conduct myself professionally. And I always try to explain that to people when they say, cops are people too, right? Cops are people too. Police, they're human. If you talk to them a certain way, it's understandable if they get angry or upset or rough you up. It is not. That's not the case. That's not true. They are held to a higher standard because we are forced to, and a lot of times, to comply with what they're telling us. They have the backing of the United States government. So how I put it in perspective is I tell people, if your grandmother, right, or your mother was in a nursing home and she's on medication or she's not on medication, she's a grandmother with a nasty attitude and she's talking nasty all the time to them, she's being rude, do the nursing aides have a right to rough her up or treat her bad or disrespectful? At the end of the day, she's still a paying customer. And that's the thing with police. They don't realize we are paying customers. There's a level of professionalism you always have to conduct yourself in. Nobody listening to this, nobody in the world would be okay with their mother being roughed up or treated badly or disrespected because of the manner she behaved in, right? Same with our children. If a kid goes to school and acts up, throws his books on the floor, says he's not going to do his work, does that give a teacher a right to grab him up, rough him up, and say, yes, you are, and make a big spectacle, embarrass him? No, again. So I like to put it in perspective. Your mother, your grandmother, your children, right? Your nieces, your nephews. If you went to school, if you woke up and saw on the news that a teacher treated a student, which they're in a position of authority, teachers. If a teacher or security guard treated a student, your mother or grandmother, in the fashion that some police officers treat citizens in the public, would you be okay with it? I think in most cases you guys wouldn't. So like I like to make people try to think about it in that fashion, Exactly. Shouldn't be touching. Really and truly, for me, nobody should be touched. Nobody should be touched. You shouldn't be putting in. For me, the only way I put my hands on anybody is if they're in an imminent threat. Like I got a video. I don't think I put it up. I didn't put it in the shorts. But this guy, we gotta break down this video. This video's sick. I'm recording inside of a police precinct, right? I'm recording, yeah, bro. Like the only reason I put my hands on somebody is for my safety. The last thing I ever want to do is get a lawsuit or find myself in jail, missing out on money, making things happen, is because some jerk off was a little bit too aggressive. I usually try to keep my distance. So like, we're gonna take a look at this video here, right? And where was that video? These two schmucks, right? You see somebody recording into a police precinct, right? Most people are afraid of the cops, right? Clearly I'm not. So I'm recording into the police precinct. I just want to give a quick breakdown of what's happening. I'm recording into the police precinct, minding my business, or minding the cops' business, which is my business because I pay taxes, right? So I'm looking in, and I hear somebody say, excuse me. So I can't. In my mind, the voice doesn't sound that authoritative. You know how cops have this kind of, they try to make their voice more authoritative. I don't hear that in the voice, so I don't stop recording. I keep looking in. I hear it again. So I take a look, and it's this girl, right? So check out the video. Amazing.
Anyway, back to what I was doing.
All right, check it out, guys.
You're not recording, right, sir? Recording?
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
I'm just walking down the street. What you talking about? Who am I?
Who are you? Why are you talking to me?
Because you recording. I'm trying to walk down the
So
street.
walk down the street.
Hey. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth. No, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. What are you walking up on me for? What are you doing?
What are you pulling
What are you
out?
doing?
What are you pulling out your pocket?
Fucking ghetto trash. Better keep away from me. Better keep your ghetto trash away from me. Bums. Bums.
Sir, can you stop
Keep walking.
talking to us? We're trying to walk down the street. Get some ass.
Trash.
Thank you, sir.
Take your ghetto girl with you, bro. Do better. Better. Better.
This dude, this shit threw me off. Cause when I come and I do an audit, right? When I know I'm intentionally going to a police station, I'm not really thinking about civilians. Like my brain, my mindset is completely focused. It's completely focused on dealing with police, what they might say, what they might do. Even in the video, you hear him talk about my shoes. The shoes I'm wearing and the clothes I'm wearing particularly because I'm going to a police station. And in my brain, because I'm an intelligent dude, I realize even though I'm going to do something legally well within my rights, there's a chance cops might arrest me. So I'm not going to I don't wear Jordans, but I'm not going to wear Jordans to go to the police station for them to take my laces out and take me to central bookings where it smells like crap and I got to throw the shoes away. So anything I'm wearing when I'm going to a police station, or if I'm going out specifically with the intention of doing an audit, I'm not dressing for the GQ magazine, right? So again, my mindset is dealing with cops. So I'm thinking the pretty much everybody, maybe you might get a loser once in a while who will come and say, hey, why you recording the cops? What are you doing? Blah, 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 right? This jerk off and this girl, clearly he walks by, right? I didn't get him on camera because I'm recording inside of the police station, not thinking really about the only people I want to turn and deal with on camera are cops. So when she says something to me the second time, again, guys, I don't even look out the side of my face while I'm still recording. I'm looking with the camera because I'm thinking this might be a cop. So when I look and I see this freaking yellow hippopotamus, I'm thinking, oh, like, is she a cop getting off duty? She don't look like a cop. She's like way past the physical test. That's not a cop. I'm thinking maybe she works. Does she work? Is she a receptionist? Like does she it's not only cops in there. They got janitors. So no, she has nothing to do with any of that. She sees me recording in a police precinct and decides to start talking to me. Where's the logic? Where's the sense in that? Like, what are you trying to do? Clearly, if I'm not afraid to record the cops and you're calling me to give you attention, I'm not afraid to record you. And that's the mindset that I don't get, right? You see somebody doing something, right, that a lot of people probably wouldn't do. A lot of people aren't going to go with a camera and record cops in their face in their place of work. You decide to pick a fight with me. You walk up to me. I got one camera in my hand, and you're walking up to me, right? And then you're screaming so the cops could hear. What are you going in your pocket for? Well, why are you walking up to me? Again, I'm never gonna do nothing like. Even though I kind of look at them as like miseducated, misinformed people. Not gonna lie, trash. But still, they're still Americans, right? So I look at it as just like it's sad that like somebody would go out of their way to get my attention to cause an issue to possibly put me in a situation where I gotta hurt you or your boyfriend. And like that's the sad thing too, guys. Be careful with women like that, right? He walked by me perfectly fine. There was no issue. Actually, if you listen in the video, you could hear him. He's rolling with something, some baggage. I never get him on camera because I'm recording inside of the police station, clearly. So if she would have walked, I would have never even know she would have existed. We would have never even had a conversation. She grabs my attention. And this is what occurs. Insanity, right? Puts him in a situation where he feels he has to defend her. And it puts me in a situation where I'm not going to let you do anything to me in front of a police station or not. And granted, like, we're in front of a police station, so whatever I did have in my pocket, allegedly, it's not going to be anything illegal. I'm only in the business of self-defense, protecting myself when I go out and do what I do. And again, when it comes to the cops, you know, you don't fight with cops in the streets, you fight with cops in court. I always try to tell people that, like, stand your ground, don't let them roll you over, but at the same time, you know, I live in New York, so I have to have self-protection tools, we'll call it self-protection tools, to make sure I make it back home to my family and loved ones, you know. But yeah, it was insane. You come at me and then you call the cops. What? I didn't tell you to come over to me. Let's jump back.
Because you're recording. I'm recording, right, sir? You're not recording, right, sir? Recording?
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
I'm just walking down the street. What are you talking about? Who am I?
Who are you? Why are you talking to me?
Because you're recording. I'm trying to walk down the
So
street.
walk down the street.
Big. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth. No, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. What are you walking up on me for? What are you doing?
What are you
What are you doing?
What are you pulling out your pocket?
Fucking ghetto trash. Better keep away from me. Better keep your ghetto trash away from me. Bums. Bums. Keep walking. Trash. Trash.
Thank you, sir.
Take your ghetto girl with you, bro. Do better. 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 You bum asshole. Lose some weight. Tummy tuck. All that stuff. All that stuff. Tummy tuck. Tummy tuck. Tummy tuck. I am outside. I am outside, you fat mess. I am outside, you fat mess. Trash. Yeah. That's what your mother does. Yeah, you fat mess. Keep going. Keep going. You're sloppy. Your man ain't do nothing. He know you're not worth it. He know you're not worth it. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He leaving you. He know you trash. He's leaving you. He's leaving you. Your man is leaving you. He knows you're trash. Bro, do better. Do better. She got blonde hair. Look at her. You look like a mess, bro. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Anyway, back to what I was doing.
crazy, bro. That's crazy. You ask for my opinion. Like you basically
Craziness.
almost caused the situation that didn't need to happen. This topic coming through. After two sees what happens, I don't know what my opinion is a cop, right? You're supposed to be able to be good at assessing. If I was unflappable by those two, and you see what I was doing the whole time, why would you bring that attention?
You know you're not supposed to be doing that, right? Hello? You're not supposed to be recording inside of a building.
What's your name and your badge number? And your business card? Since you want to have a conversation with me?
There's no conversation.
All right, so can I have your business card? That's illegal. You gotta have a business card. It's the law, Right of Information Act. Do you have one or no, ma'am? Breaking the law, but talking to me.
Also, guys, take a look. Thailand is 13 hours ahead.
Don't slam the doors, man. That's tax funded.
We're 13 hours ahead, so midday right now over here. Midday. This schmucky Magoo over here.
Money for them.
This guy was.
You really work it? I couldn't. I have the business card. It's the right of information. Is he a sergeant or not sergeant? Captain? The lady who's driving this vehicle, I asked her for a business card after she approached me and she doesn't want to give it to me. Captain's not available? Do you have a business card?
Yeah.
Can I have it?
I don't have it on me, though.
You don't have it on. You know it's the law to have it?
Technically, it's still my command.
Can you get it?
But I'm in my command.
Yeah, but you don't have the business card. It's the Right of Information Act, the law that they passed.
I'm still in my command.
I don't know what that means.
It's my precinct.
So you don't give a business card if you're at your precinct?
I'm at my command.
You're not out of public.
Yeah, it's my command. I work here.
No way. You really work it? I couldn't tell.
Okay.
But I thought it was the Right of Information Act. If a civilian act is for, a business card, the city's paid a lot of money for them. You're supposed to give them out.
See, I can't say I'm mad at him, right? But I am because, again, it's about professionalism, right? He's a cop. He's not a regular dude chilling on the street. If I was a regular dude minding my business and somebody came to me with what I felt was bullshit, I'd brush him off, right? But as a police officer, you're expected to conduct yourself in a certain fashion. You just keep repeating you're at your command. There's nothing in the law that says you don't have to have your... Basically, he's the first line of defense. They now don't want civilians in the precinct. They want to screen what's the reason you're coming in, tell you to go do something online, tell you to go over here and do over there, or make it... This guy, his job is to screen civilians. What are you coming in for? What do you want? What's the reason you're coming here today? Like if he deems it as unworthy of getting in, you're not gonna get in. So when he says he's technically, no, bro, you're outside. You're the first line of defense, standing behind the fence, keeping people out. You're the first person who should have to pick up their business cards because, hey, whatever your name is, hey, Ramirez, You got the door today, bro. You're the first line of defense. You're gonna be dealing with the public. He should have, or he should have the sergeant's business card to hand out to citizens who come up. Like, if this was just me dealing with a person, or if he wasn't on duty and this is how he was behaving, it's cool. Like, this is how me and my buddies deal with nonsense. Like, oh yeah, all right, but you're a cop, right? I'm coming to you. The reason I'm approaching you is because your fellow officer told me I couldn't do something that I legally could do. And then I asked her for her business card. She refused to give that to me. So because she refused to give that to me, you should be mad at her. I'm having a conversation with you because of her actions. And he starts talking this gibberish.
Okay. You really working? I couldn't tell. Okay. But I thought it was the Right of Information Act. If a civilian acts for, a business card, the city's paid a lot of money for them. You're supposed to give them out. Okay. So you're just... I'm at my command. You don't have an issue breaking the law. I'm at my command. Yeah, this guy, right? Ma'am, are you going to give me your business card? I've asked you several times. Ooh, look at that look. Jesus Christ.
Why she look at me like I was her boyfriend asking her for some, you know what I mean? Like, she looked at me like, every guy knows that look. You tell your girl, like, why'd she look at me?
Yeah, this guy, right? Ma'am, are you going to give me your business card? I've asked you several times. Ooh, look at that look. Jesus Christ. On a Sunday, I've been praying to Jesus. Says something to me and then refuses to give a business card.
This cop is trying to become a construction worker. Look how long the video, I think I went live. 4 minutes and 10 seconds for them to notice.
How long before they notice I'm behind them?
And right in their blind spot. Not enough to be seen in the mirrors, this is when they notice me.
That's funny. Hands are smart. They decided to drive away instead of...
Which, as I say in the video, I'm not mad at them because you already busted, right? I already caught you red-handed. So there's not really a need for you to say anything. Like, the best case scenario is just drive away. These two schmucks. This video is like bad though. They were like jamming the hat. This precinct, it's like the next time I go here, I gotta make sure. Not flip it? Nah, it's not gonna work. I gotta make sure to not go live. I can't go live. I just gotta do the video myself offline and upload it because they jam hard at this precinct. Where's this guy?
in before.
Wait, I might have put it in the comments.
It's a ton of bikes. I'll say like maybe 12. Definitely still in service.
I think this was like forgot whose car it was. It says
Inspection on here is definitely expired.
the parking spot said the title of the officer. I think it was like a lieutenant. Did I stop and look? Yeah, this live was terrible. They were jamming the hell out of me.
C4.
Jesus Christ, bro. This is why you gotta put the time.
Sure what you're doing is correct, because I happen to know it's not. If it wasn't correct, I wouldn't be doing it. What's your name? Actually, my name? Yeah. What's your name? Hey, some. Excuse me? Yeah, I can't film inside. Yeah, but you can't also get your phone. You can film from the street. Yeah, you can film from the street. You can't go. That's.
What's funny is they've blocked that off. So it used to be not available, but you could see through those windows clearly. They've now blocked that all off. I got something. I got a move that I gotta tell. I'm gonna email, send a message to all the auditors. I don't want to put it out on the internet because obviously the NYPD does keep an eye on all the auditors, but this is gonna be like a game changer. It's gonna be a game changer in the auditing community. Yeah, bro, when you catch these cops, they get salty. Like, chalk it up to the game, bro. You gotta take it like a man.
That's false. Yeah, there's witnesses. Yeah, but that's false what you're telling me. Okay. All right. So, thank you. Son, what are you doing? What are you doing, sir? You're making physical contact with me right now. Listen. Bro, you cannot, guys. What are you guys? Do you guys know what you're doing right now? Yeah, I know. Listen, let me actually help you guys. I understand. So then, if you think I'm looking for reaction, and you know the law, the best thing for you to do is just go that way, because I'm not looking for reaction. I'm actually minding my business. What are you doing right now? Like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Let me get your business card, because we can make sure. You're being stopped. Not only did you make contact with me, you made physically contact with me. Can I have your business card, please? I can't have your business card? Okay. So then I'm also free to do this.
This guy's a nerd, bro.
So, are you guys sure you want to do this? Listen. Are you sure for a fact what you're doing is right now? Yeah. Are you sure for a fact what you're doing is correct? Yeah. I'm sure it's not. No, what are you doing is not like you can videotape you.
This guy,
no, I can't go inside.
No disrespect, but he doesn't fucking look like he has an idea of what the Constitution is. Like, no disrespect. I had a gorgeous Guyanese girlfriend. This schmuck He's fucking just figuring out what a fucking NY slice is, and he's telling me about the fucking law, bro. No disrespect to nobody. My mother's West Indian, Trinidad and Tobago, big Indian community. All right.
No, you need any. You're trying to weaponize mental health. No, don't do that, sir. Do you need any help? That's it. Do you need any help? I'll take some French fries, some water. Oh, you need some water, French fry? Yeah. So like, we don't provide French fry. All right. So then you can't help me. No, you need to make a complaint or anything. No. So what you are here for? It's minding my business. So you guys aren't gonna give me your business cards? Make a complaint or anything. Stop. We didn't stop you. So what's your name and your badge number? My name is also K. And badge number? 1555. 1556. Are you guys sure what you're doing is correct? Because I happen to know it's not. If it wasn't correct, I wouldn't be doing it. What's your name? My name? Yeah. What's your name? No, you told me your badge number and your last name. Yeah. What did your mother name you? So we can be a little bit more personal. You don't want to tell me? No. I don't talk to strangers. So. Okay.
That's how I
Yeah, what you guys are saying is...
I'll give them my name if they give me their name. You know, you want to know my name? Okay, sure, I'll tell you. But what's your name? Like, what did your mother name you? Your mother didn't name you Faizan 873-254. Like, tell me your name. You want to have a personal, real conversation? Let's be gentlemen, but you got to tell me your name first. You can't just decide to, you know, have all the, all the balls in your corner. What else we got going on? Cops caught planting drugs. Let's take a look at that one. This cop was arrested for
Yeah, I will in just a minute.
what did he think? Nobody would see that? Like, what goes wrong with these cops, bro?
Have you ever seen this before?
No. No, what is that?
Hang out with Deputy Jackson here.
The thing is, bro, it's so bad when they do this type of shit, right? Because it has so many ramifications. When you plant drugs on somebody, right? Let's only deal with the person for a moment. So if I'm a cop and I come and I plant drugs on you, what level of anxiety do you think you have as a person, as a human being, knowing the ramifications that come with it, right? What do you immediately think? What? Drugs? These are some dirty cops. Imagine how you're feeling in your heart, in your stomach, how your mind is racing, right? You're thinking about, how am I going to pay my car note? How am I going to pay my rent? My credit card? Like, how long are they going to lock me up? I got to go now pay a lawyer to deal. Like, think about all the things that go through your head when a cop does something like this. On top of this, the dude who's doing it, like, this is how crazy cops are. The dude who's doing it, he's doing it on a body cam. Like, he turned his body cam on. I mean, I would hope he's not a moron accidentally, but probably not. Figuring, hey, like, we could get this part cut out and start from this part, right, guys? Like, we do it all the time. No. The guy comes up, you clearly see him drop the thing, and this thing that I'm now assuming the guy never even seen that before. So, like, that little canteen, he never even saw that in his car before. Guy plants evidence, makes the department look bad, reinforces the stereotype that police are dirty, criminals, worse than the worst drug dealer you ever met. Like, think about the ramification.
through the light. I get pulled over. All right, the deputy asked if he could search my truck. I told him, yes, he may search my truck. I'm sitting on the phone right now. He goes in the back.
See that? Trying to be a good citizen, you know you're not breaking the law. Hey, you guys want to search the truck? No problem. Hopefully it'll just get me on my way faster. Yeah, sure, you could search the truck. You don't need to call a dog. I give you permission. What are you stopping me for? Oh, I ran the stop sign 3 miles back there. All right. Yeah, you can check the car. I don't got nothing in there. The guy plants evidence. Now, mind you, she does look like she messes with a little head. But that don't give you the right. Like, I'm not going to lie. If she walks into court and they say possession of methamphetamines, I'm not going to lie. The stereotype person I have in my mind of what a meth head looks like, I'm like, you know you did that shit. Just cop out. I'm joking. But, again, it's this type of shit. Like, that's why they tell you don't cooperate with the police in any fashion, because you're trying to do the right thing to make things, go ahead, and here they are putting you through all these hoops and hurdles.
Passenger side, he sees, I don't know, God knows what. He goes around to the other side, going on open, and he comes back with a spoon, which is what I use to eat my yogurt with. And in the spoon, there is laying a little bitty, like, I guess a little tiny bag. He says it tests positive for methamphetamine. So I guess I'm going to go to jail. And it damn sure ain't mine, and nobody's been in my truck but me.
Return, presumptive positive for methamphetamine. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Okay? Honesty's gonna go a long way with me, okay, man?
Yeah.
All right. I've got to test this. Center console.
You know what's the funny thing? If you listen to the lady's voice, like, it's funny how cops are, right? They'll tell you they're doing you a favor. You know what, ma'am? I'll let you go ahead and make a call, so we don't impound your car. Like, it's all mental coercion, right? So you planted the drugs in my car. So you're gonna do me a favor and let me make a phone call. So he's already implanting, like, I'm trying to help you out. So, like, when they get down to the station, I've been real nice with you, ma'am, right? Like, it's unfortunate we don't know who uses the car, but this was found. This is the process we got to go through. So he's already planting the seed that he's helping her. He's doing her a favor by letting her make a phone call for something that he put in the car. But listen to how she dealt with it. She calls whoever she's talking to, she's telling them, like, they tested it for whatever, and I guess I'm going to jail, but, like, come and get my car, so at least we're able to still feed our family. Like, it's just crazy what cops do, bro. Like, it's a job. It's not that serious, bro. You walking around with drugs to put on people, bro.
Damn sure ain't mine, and nobody. And in the spoon, there is like he sees, I don't know, God knows what. He goes around to the other side, going on open, and he comes back with a spoon, which is what I use to eat my yogurt with. And in the spoon, there is laying a little bitty, like, I guess a little tiny bag. He says it tests positive for methamphetamine. So I guess I'm going to go to jail. And it damn sure ain't mine, and nobody's been in my truck but me.
Return, presumptive positive for methamphetamine. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Okay?
Yeah, cops never want to give over the body camera footage. Hey, Punch Slipper, how you doing today? How are you doing? Figure, since I can't audit, I'll go over a few of my audits and look at the internet for all the nonsense that's been going on with cops lately. Where'd that thing go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? This is another crazy video. But yeah, man, it's like, the whole reason they brought not auditing, body cameras, right, was from essentially what happened. I don't even know. Does YouTube not like us saying his name? But the whole George situation. I'm not gonna say his last name. And that was, or not, no, it started in New York after Eric Garner. So the gentleman, I believe he was from Staten Island, he was selling cigarettes. They choked him out. They didn't want to release the they did have body cam footage, but they didn't want to release it. And a kid wound up recording it, putting it on the internet, and that's how everybody found out about it. So it was a combination of a couple things. It was like Eric Garner, what happened to George, and NYPD in New York City mandated that all cops would be wearing it by a certain amount of time, which happened. But the thing now is, they specifically said, I'll pull it up on the internet. They said, I can't even pull it up. Because it doesn't let me type on the left side of my screen. This is another crazy video.
Did he pose for this?
Now it's only one.
Share the epic on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra.
Come on, man.
Cheryl, Cook County prosecutors say that
So, I don't remember. I saw this video a while back. Forgot exactly, but clearly the cop uses like extreme amount of excessive force. He's telling the guy like, I don't. Why am I gonna give us talk about it?
in Chicago, police officer tased a man who was complying with his orders. That man is now suing the city of Chicago, and his attorney has provided us with the officer's body camera video that shows the entire incident. Officer Marco Simonetti's own body camera picks up.
One of the things I want to say to auditors too, something I noticed. If you get arrested wrongfully for one of these, interactions while you're doing an audit, it all depends on you. How far you want to take it and how far you want to go. What I noticed is that in situations where, whether you represent yourself, whether you get a public defender, make your public defender or your attorney immediately, like on day one, request the body camera footage immediately. They like to play these games, especially in New York, with the body camera footage. Oh, it's an ongoing investigation. We can't. But when they're trying to prosecute you, if they've turned, and they have to now, if you're making an arrest, you got to turn on your body camera. So when they arrest you, immediately request that body camera footage, immediately. A lot of times what you'll see is the judge, the prosecutor, they'll all switch up. They'll go from wanting to press charges to dropping charges to trying to ADC you, to drop the charges completely, whether it be before ADC community service. Once you start requesting body camera footage, a lot of times, they start wanting to drop it. But in cases where it's not serious and you want to push it, always make sure you get that body camera footage. Even before they offer the plea of ADCing it, community service, or dropping the charges, say you want the body camera footage to see what you're looking at. Like what you're entitled to it because the city is bringing these charges against you. So you need to be able to mount your defense. So from my understanding, I believe it's like when they're bringing charges against you, I believe it's either 20 or 30 days where they have to give you that requested body camera footage. Even if you wind up taking a plea, just try to make sure you get that, or they drop the charges. You don't have to take a plea. But before they drop those charges, try to make sure to get that body camera footage. Because once, even when they say it's an open case, which is it's nonsense. You already got the body camera footage. It doesn't change the facts of the case. The case, whatever's on the camera, still remains. Whether you do whatever you want to do with it, whether you put it on your Facebook, your YouTube, doesn't change the facts of the case. They've just been using any tactic possible to keep from giving the body camera footage. Essentially, the NYPD uses the body camera footage now only in their favor. It was initially meant and created to create transparency with the public, let people know what's going on. That's not what they're doing with it. They're using it only in cases where, okay, it was justified. A while back ago, a police officer was stabbed in a residential building. I think they were reporting to a domestic dispute. And immediately, they released the body footage to Eyewitness News. And my thing too is, that's another thing, is you release the body cam footage to all these new news agencies, right? So you release the body camera footage to Fox 5, to ABC News, but the whole point of the body camera footage was for the citizens, was for public. And we don't have access to it before they give it to Lisa Evers. That's what's the issue for me. Like, I could wind up I could request body camera footage, and Lisa Evers could get the body camera footage before me, yet I'm the one who is paying for these body cameras, which, if you go and you look on 311's website, the whole reason that they instituted body cameras was for transparency, which clearly they're not doing. So, yeah, I wanted to touch on that. Like, guys, when they arrest you and like it's an actual case, before you get that case closed, guys, get the body camera footage. Because once they close the case, they're gonna put you back through that hurdle, even though the case is closed, and they should give it to you. Because right, they don't need it for evidence purposes, but they're not gonna give it to you while the case is open. Get the body camera footage. I believe they have it's either 20 days or 30 days to get it to you, so you can mount your case, build your case, decide whether you want to take a plea or not. So don't just take the dismissal or the ADC. Try to get that body camera footage.
Responding to a call of a suspicious person on Chicago's northwest side, immediately Simonetti encounters Joshua Habasek.
You live there? Yeah. You got ID or a key?
I ain't got a key on it.
It's contentious from the start.
For lying to me. Said you live here.
The encounter escalates.
Get your hands on your car.
You can't go into my house. Hey, man, don't be grabbing up on me. Don't grab up on me. I ain't do nothing wrong.
And with that,
Why are you arresting me? You're not arresting me.
Habasek takes off running.
Get down on the ground! Get down on the ground right now!
I ain't do nothing. I ain't chilling. Look,
Give me one more car over here. Get on the ground! I'm gonna tase you. Last warning.
I ain't do nothing. I do. Can you put it down? Put it down, bro.
One last warning.
He's gonna tase you.
We've frozen the video before Joshua Habasek hits the ground, face first. The video goes on to show him convulsing and losing consciousness. This was August of 2021, and this is Officer Marco Simonetti today, more than a year later, in his mugshot.
If you imagine what a fucking dirty cop looks like, is this not the picture you would imagine? Like, if I see that guy coming at me, I'm not a criminal. I don't commit crimes, right? I'm not a criminal. I do not commit crimes. At least not in this current day and age of who I am, right? If I saw this guy coming at me, I'm running. I could have an ice cream in my hand and a money order to give to Goodwill. I could have done nothing but charity the whole day. If I see this guy coming at me, I'm running. Nothing good is gonna happen from this face coming to this face. Like I know it. Check like I wish I could zoom in, guys. Like this is terrible. I see this guy. That's another thing, right? I want to point out. I see it in a lot of communities like across America. And I'm not, believe me, I'm not, I got family of all backgrounds, all races. I do business with people of all religions or races, right? But you know what I really like about, let's say, for instance, the Jewish community? You ever see how they have Jewish NYPD police officers, right? What's good about that is if you're from the community and you understand the culture that you work in, then there's more of a connection. There's more of a connection. There's more of an understanding. You might, if I have no, if I'm myself, a guy from New York City, right, and you make me a cop, and you drop me off in the middle of Kentucky, first day on the job, right? Make me a cop, go to the academy, first day on the job, I go to Kentucky. I have no idea. I'm from New York City. I have no idea of their way of living, right? So I can misinterpret, like, I need to, not that I need to, but what I'm trying to say is, when you have people of a certain community, and I know in places like New York that's hard, because it's a lot of people from different communities together, but my thing is, I always see it, like, in Jewish communities in New York, they'll have Jewish police officers, which is a good thing. I agree with it, and I feel like it should be that way more. So, like, let's say you live in the Bronx, and your local precinct is whatever precinct, right? The 4-4, whatever, right? Well, let's just say that. And the community that they serve is 40% Hispanic, 40% Black, 10% Caucasian, and 10% other. I think what they should start doing is, if it's 40% Hispanic, have 40% of the officers at that precinct be Hispanic in some way. Whether it's Mexican, Venezuelan, Honduran, just make sure that there's that level of somebody's approaching you, they're of your, if at least they're not of your community, they have some understanding of your culture. That's what I feel should go on. Because that's what goes on in a lot of Jewish communities. I even see it in like Indian communities, NYPD, they'll specifically, if you go to Chinatown and both in Queens, Flushing, or you go to Manhattan, Chinatown, a lot of the officers are Asian. So what's the problem with having that in most of the communities, right? You're gonna have a precinct dealing with people from a certain culture area who have a certain understanding of things. Why don't you put people? For me, really and truly, I think cops should be from the community. Like if you go to small towns across America, the sheriff lives in the same town he's the sheriff of. So he has an understanding of the people, the way that things go. And he deals it, you know what I'm saying? Like if you know Big Luke and Little Luke was drinking on the side of the sidewalk, you see him walking home intoxicated, who knows what you do? Maybe you might take him to the precinct, make him sit down for an hour, and then give him a ride home. As opposed to, you got these cops coming from Long Island, Westchester, White Plains, Jersey, to be cops in New York City, who have like, I don't want to say they don't have any understanding, but a lot of these cops, they look at it like this is literally like some jungle, some wild place. Like, I've had cops when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, tell me like, I never lived in the projects a day in my life. Not there's anything wrong with it. My family grew up in the projects. Some of my from my father's side, nothing wrong with living in the projects. But one day, I was about like 16 years old, and I'm leaving a buddy's house, and like detectives, we call them DTs in New York, they jump out on us, and they're like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" Long story short, I get into it back and forth with the cop. I'm like, it's not really any of your business where we're going. The cop says to me, "Oh, just another bum from the projects." I'm like, "Whoa, bro, I don't live in the projects." He said, "Yeah, maybe you don't live in this projects, but you probably live in another." And I'm like, it was insane. I got to get one of my buddies to help me tell the story one of these days. But basically, me and this cop is about to go at it. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm 16 years old. I'd give you a run for your money. He's like, "Oh yeah, you think I won't take all this off, and we could really see if you." Long story short, it didn't happen. But I say that to say, people who are policing a certain community should at least be from it or understand it in a certain way. When you're hiring cops from Westchester, White Plains, from PA, there's been cops who tell me they're from PA. I'm like, well, why don't you be a cop in PA? Like, not only do you save a little bit of money, but like, you know the people you're dealing with. You kind of have an understanding of everyday life there. They don't have that going on, and I don't understand why. If you could do it in Asian, Indian, and Jewish communities, you could do it in all communities. And if there's, for some reason, you got to look at it. You got to say, why don't all these people want to be cops? If the stereotype of cops are this bad, why is it so bad? Let's take a look at this schmuck finishing.
Shot, criminally charged with official misconduct and aggravated battery.
It was revolting. It was incredibly difficult to watch. Josh was doing everything he was being told to do.
Documents read in a Cook County courtroom today say Simonetti radioed in the incident stating, "I had to tase him," but later wrote in a tactical response report that he unintentionally deployed the taser. Internal Affairs.
God, see what I say about these police reports? People take a police report as fact. It's a person writing a statement. It's no different from me writing a statement, a criminal writing a statement, a witness writing a statement. Cops are people, bro. You can't put it past them to tell a complete lie. And as you see, right, what did she just say? The story changed.
Cook County courtroom today says Simonetti radioed in the incident stating, "I had to tase him," but later wrote in a tactical response report that he unintentionally deployed the.
I had to tase him. I unintentionally tased him. Bro, I mean, come on. Come on, what's going on? Is the police system so corrupt that you think that would never see the light of day? Or that you could get away with it? Like, how can your reports be so different from each other? You had to do something, and then you did something accidentally. And you feel comfortable putting pen to paper and writing that? Doesn't make it, like a criminal lawyer would tell you, listen, bro, just cop out. Like, your statements are so inconsistent. Even the best attorney couldn't get you out of this. But cops, like, I don't know what it is. Like, as we saw in the video before, this guy, he's on camera. He's got his body camera on, and he's taking drugs and dropping it. He's taking an empty spoon and putting drugs in it. And he's doing it on camera, and it's like, you gotta think, they're not idiots. Like, cops, they're trained in a little bit of like psychological warfare, how to deal with people, how to manipulate. You have to think if they're doing these things, they're doing it because they feel the department has their back. Listen, we don't have to, we could say that the body cam started from this point. We don't have to put the part where I clearly put the drugs in the pan or clearly put the drugs in the spoon. We could start from this part where I say I find the drugs. That's what I'm thinking, like as a logical person, that's what I'm thinking the conversation in the department is. Chief calls you in, captain calls you in, hey, sit down, Jim. Listen, they got this. Hey, captain, like, we don't really gotta release the whole tape. That's the only logic I could see. And in this situation, it's the same. It's like, dude, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, do you think you're so above the law you could have differentiating statements at differentiating times? You pick one story, you gotta stick to it. But now the body cam footage comes out, and you're saying you did something accidentally when initially you were trying to justify what you did. It doesn't make any sense, and that's why police get the reputation that they have.
Taser. Internal Affairs for Chicago Police has been quietly investigating the Taser confrontation since last year.
They knew that this video existed. Multiple levels of supervisors undoubtedly saw it. And yet, nothing is done.
We're in process of leave of powers because he was arrested.
Simonetti posted the $5,000 bond to be released from jail this afternoon, so tonight he is no longer in custody. We did reach out to the union that represents Chicago police officers, but they did not want to.
$500K. Cops are balling, bro. Long Island man suing cops over what?
Maybe you're a landlord already. I get a lot of people on my commercial courses that are residential landlords. And over the years,
A Long Island man claims that he's been the victim of police brutality and an unlawful arrest.
And as CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan reports, he says police body cam video proves he was assaulted by a Nassau County detective while other officers stood by.
23-year-old Tahid Brennan of Baldwin claims he went through a life-altering experience last April.
I was scared for my life. It's a lot of this going on around, and you never know when you could be the next person.
As a group of Nassau police officers wrestled Brennan to the ground outside a Baldwin grocery store.
Relax. Yo, what is wrong? Resisting.
Brennan, a Job Corps culinary student at the time, was shopping for his mom. He inadvertently left his backpack at checkout while paying. When he returned for it, he was suddenly slapped with handcuffs.
My hands were blue, and the way he had them crushing them, he was trying to do damage to me. He hit me as well. He punched me, while I'm in the grasp of the other officers.
His attorney received the police body cam video.
There's no reason to punch him or smack him like they did in the head, and there's no reason to be pulling his hair. You had 4, 5, 6 officers surrounding a handcuffed young man.
How did this happen? The store called police, worried about the contents in the anonymous backpack in their midst. Among items in the backpack, an airsoft BB gun. Brennan said it was for paintball. And a survival knife he said he used when camping. Brennan was initially charged with assaulting a police officer, resisting arrest, and drug possession. The DA confirmed to us all charges have been dropped.
I want someone to pay for this. But I just know that not all police officers are bad.
I think they were profiling me as a young African American, and because in all honesty, I feel like if I was a young Caucasian male, this wouldn't have happened to me.
Brennan has 2 priors. He was arrested at a George Floyd rally and also a past charge of assault. He is suing Nassau for $1 million. On Long Island, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
Nassau County Police Internal Affairs reviewed the case and filed no charges against the officers. They say that they're unable to comment on pending litigation.
Now, in that situation, I think the way they break it down, they try to break it down a little soft by saying, they said as I said, I mean, not as she said, yeah, that initially he said he had to do it, and then he switched it to he unintentionally did it. But in that case we just saw, I guess they're trying to say the justification is he had an airsoft gun. Now, some airsoft guns can be heavy, but as a police officer, I would assume that you could immediately, like, mind you, he's returning to get the bag, so they have the bag in their possession, right? He goes to the supermarket, he leaves his bag at the checkout counter. Employees find it. Probably the employees, they're not familiar. They probably just take a look in, oh crap, there's a gun in here. They're not familiar with, probably they also don't want to touch it, right? They don't want to have their fingerprints. They don't know what's going on with the gun. They're not able to identify that it's an airsoft gun, so they call the cops. Cops come. The bag isn't in his possession, right? So he's returning to get his bag that he left. The way it sounds like it goes is when he returns to get it, they kind of, approach him, probably in a very strong, forceful manner, as cops usually do. Hey, turn around, put your hands behind your back. Hey, what's going on? I'm just coming back from my bag. I think at that point, we don't know, so I'm only assuming here. But at that point, they already have the bag in their possession with the airsoft gun. So that's not an issue, right? Maybe they're thinking he might have a weapon on him. It's the only thing I could think of for the aggression. But we don't see the whole body cam footage there, so I mean, I can't tell. Well, it's not that I can't tell. They're telling you the use of force wasn't justified. They dropped all the charges. So in my opinion, I would just say it's one of those things where he probably came back. He's confused as to like what's going on. I just left my bag. Where's my bag? The cops are, hey, put your hands behind your back. Take your hands out of your pocket. A lot of confusion, but I don't know. Really don't know what I think on that one. Really don't know what I think. I guess they would say he's returning, but they would have had to check the bag and see that it was an airsoft gun. So if he's returning, if you've confirmed that it's an airsoft gun, right? Employees call. Because it's a gun, they get there really quick. They get the contents of the bag. I would assume they're gonna take the clip out, try to disarm the gun, and at that point they would realize it's an airsoft gun, because airsoft guns, they don't have clips of bullets in it, right? So they would have realized at that point it's an airsoft gun. So when he returns to get the bag, they said also there were drugs, but they dropped those charges. My confusion is, I feel like they're trying to spin it. They're trying to spin it in a nice way, because why are you telling us that he went to a George Floyd rally? What does that have to do with him leaving his bag in the supermarket and coming back to get it? What is it? It doesn't have anything to do with that, right? The drugs is interesting because they dropped it, so it's either wasn't enough to be charged or they just wanted the whole thing to go away. It's just crazy to me, man. I saw this one before. This was crazy. This cop spit on the kid, beat the crap out of him, and
Uber Eats. Get anything effortlessly.
Over 8 hours of footage has been released by the Providence Police Department showing what happened in July when cops detained 3 teenage suspects. Several of the 41 videos now available for public viewing shows Officer Domingo Diaz allegedly punching an already restrained juvenile until he is pulled away by a fellow officer. Moans and crying can be heard on the video. After he is moved, Diaz walks back. Police confirm one of the suspects was taken to the hospital that night. The crowd that gathered around the arrest scene is heard asking the Providence.
You know what's the crazy thing, right? In New York City, they've now kind of eased up the laws on getting your carry permit, right? So not a lot of people know, because initially they changed the website, but what I've noticed is they reversed the website. Even though the law has changed, when you go on the actual official website, it still looks like the old laws. So you would think you're not able to get your gun license to carry in New York. It's not true. I encourage people to do a little bit more research. You could get your gun license not pretty easy compared to most states. Like in Florida, all you need is your license. But what you need to do is, in New York City, you now need to attend the class, submit all your social media, and I believe I don't know if that's part of the in-person meeting, but have some type of psychiatric evaluation. I think that happens in the in-person meeting. Whoever does it is probably a psych major, right? But why don't they have these psychiatric evaluations for cops? When you see this cop behaving in this manner, the guy's moving like a gangster. Like, does this guy look like a cop besides the uniform? He's throwing body shots. He's standing over the kid. It's a juvenile, like a gangster. Spits on him after he punched him. It's crazy. And then this is why they're so worried about police safety when they're acting like this.
Police confirm one of the suspects was taken to the hospital that night. The crowd that gathered around the arrest scene is heard asking the Providence police to stop. Though dozens of cops are seen in the video, two police officers, Domingo Diaz and Mitchell Boyer, have been suspended with pay, pending an investigation into their use of force during the arrest. Providence, Rhode Island Mayor Jorge Alorza said, quote,
What investigation needs to be done? This is why, people don't hate the cops and get on the internet and make these things up. This is what YouTube is even allowing to be on the internet. You got a cop throwing body shots, and then if you look in that last video, he picks his head up and he's throwing shots in the kid's face. It's pure insanity. You don't need police safety because it's a dangerous job. You make it more dangerous than it needs to be. People have this resentment for cops because of things like this. So after he does this, you suspend them holiday with pay. I don't even know what that feels like. Imagine getting suspended and you still get paid your $150,000 salary. What is that? At least desk duty, from what I hear from cops, it's annoying as hell. But here you get suspended with pay, pending investigation. We saw what happened. What are we investigating? And I guess this is a picture of him leaving court with a beautiful smile, nice fitted custom suit on. What are you investigating? Nothing needs to be investigated. We got it on camera right there. You know exactly what you need to do and what should be done, but you're not doing it.
Fully support the suspension of these two officers, taking their guns away, taking them off the streets, and holding them accountable. President of the Providence Police Union, Michael Imondi, said in a statement, the investigation surrounding this incident should be full and complete before judgment is passed on any of the actions taken to facilitate the arrest of these subjects. These videos are the culmination of a several hours long chase.
The drop top is down, so it's open.
Two 15-year-olds and a 16-year-old allegedly pointed a BB gun at civilians and police out of a convertible car.
Hands where I can see it, do it now!
Leading to, as the Boston Globe reports, over 770 police radio calls. The teens were charged with 2 counts of felony assault with a deadly weapon and conspiracy. Because they are under 18, the suspects are not publicly identified. No charges have been filed against the police officers. This is Inside Edition Digital.
That changes things a little bit, right? They pointed a BB gun, which they're gonna say the officers didn't know it was a BB gun, and led them on a high-speed chase. What they teach us, specifically in America, is that self-defense, right? Self-defense starts in New York when you have no other options. The only way you could really get away with deadly force in New York is you gotta run up a flight of stairs, jump across a roof, parachute to the Empire State Building, and then if your attacker is still attacking you, then at that point, once you've exhausted every other option in getting away from him, that's when you can then properly use self-defense deadly force. It's kind of similar for police officers. Police officers are allowed to use the amount of force necessary in order to apprehend the suspect. So initially, as you see, I'm not sure if that was them pulling him out, if he was running, but once they grabbed him, they had him. He wasn't moving. He was down. One cop, it seemed he had his hands pinned behind him. I don't know if he was cuffed yet. But to throw blows while a little kid is on the ground already apprehended, it's definitely excessive force. It's an unnecessary amount of force being used. And even as you see, like myself at that police precinct, when dealing with those two, they were pretty close to me. Like that man and that woman, they were pretty close to me. My brain, being from New York, the way I'm wired is, I'm not even gonna use any type of force until he makes contact. Not only do I have it on camera, but I also have the excuse, hey, I have a camera in one hand, and I'm asking him, I'm saying, why are you walking up on me? Like, what are you trying to do? If you listen closely, I remember because I was there, obviously, but he says he's gonna pound me out. So immediately, who knows how that case would have went, right? He said he's gonna pound me out. He walks up to me aggressively. Could I have pepper sprayed him right there and have been justified? I think so. From cases I've seen and conversations with lawyers, I think cops might have arrested me immediately in that situation, but after me submitting the video and showing what happened. But for me personally, like with everything I have going on, what I know about the law, I'd rather just make it a certainty. He puts his hands on me, he makes physical contact, he's gonna get hit with that pepper spray immediately. Now, if he's still aggressive, I'm gonna throw a couple shots. As soon as he backs off and chills out, I immediately you can't go forward. That's when it has to stop. So again, they have this guy apprehended, and these are cops. Like, they're trained to deal with conflict. When they wake up in the morning, they expect to deal with conflict. Me as a regular citizen, think about it. I got all these things going on in my head. I'm holding a camera. Guy and his girlfriend is coming at me. I still have to have the wherewithal. Just because I have something on me, don't use it unnecessarily. Fortunately, me just going in my pocket, again, because of what I know of the law in New York, I know, like, brandishing. I don't know if it's the same with pepper spray, but if you brandish a knife or a firearm, that's considered, I forget the exact penal law, but it's considered a crime. So I didn't even want to pull it out of my pocket. I had my hand in my pocket. You hear them saying, hey, what are you going in your pocket for? Why are you approaching me? You just told me you're going to pound me out. You created a conversation that didn't need to happen. Why are you now approaching me after you saying you're going to pound me out? Even with all that going on, me as a regular citizen who goes out and does YouTube audits realizes, hey, don't pepper spray this dude unless, like, you got to allow it to go a little bit further. Cops don't even wait for that. They say, hey, he's got a gun. Later, it's a cell phone, right? In these situations where they're caught red-handed, you used excessive force, okay, you're throwing that in there that they had a BB gun, they pointed it at people, they led you on a high-speed chase. Once you apprehend them, you got them on the ground, there's no need to throw dirty, cheap shots in there. That's excessive force. Even with it being a BB gun, he was pointing at people that they could have possibly been fearing for their lives. You caught him at that point. So now your job is to take them to the court and let them figure out what they're going to do with them. You don't get to come and throw cheap shots because they led you on an hour-long chase. It's not how the law works. You're able to use force up until the point that it's necessary. Immediately once the force or so like you're trying to make an arrest, you're allowed to use as much force as necessary to make the arrest. So if the force necessary leads to this point, and then the perp stops resisting, you then immediately have to stop. You cuff him, you gain control of the situation, you get him booked and processed. But you can't, because he annoyed you and he talked about your mother and this, you don't get to get a couple cheap shots in it. That's not how the law works. So that's what I think a lot of people, when people look at these cop videos, they look and they're like, whoa, like, well, he had a gun and he robbed 10 banks. Yeah, but once you caught him and he was in police custody, this is the exact, what I'm about to play next is the exact concept of what I'm saying. Like, you got a guy in custody, you don't get to do this.
What makes a trip unforgettable? You'll know it when you feel it. Make memories with Picture Guide. Unforgettable travel experiences.
A community on edge tonight. A Warren officer is caught on video assaulting a 19-year-old, and that officer is now facing serious charges. The officer is on unpaid leave tonight. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. A security camera caught the assault as it happened. Victor Williams is hearing from community members tonight, and Victor, they want to make sure justice is served here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Not just community leaders, but also just members of the community as well. And speaking of that community leader, he wants this officer held accountable.
We was looking at it. We was just talking about it, so it's definitely going around.
It's the surveillance video that everyone's talking about showing police brutality, allegedly at the hands of Warren Officer Matthew Rodriguez.
He didn't raise his fist at him or anything. He probably did say some words that provoked him, but there still shouldn't have been no reason for him to hit him physically and drag him by his hair like the way he did.
Community activist and founder of Thousand Strong, Oliver Gand, is no stranger to police brutality. He says there is no excuse for the officer's actions.
I was angry. It was shock. Again, looking at something that always plays out as it seems to play out with.
Again, you wouldn't need police safety if they didn't behave in this manner. or it wouldn't be such a calling card that they constantly go to. It's almost 1 o'clock here. I haven't even worked out yet. Got a couple things I need to do. I appreciate everybody who hopped in, man. I'm gonna try to do these things a little bit more. Take a look at what's going on in the world with cops. Take a look at my NY auditors. It's a lot of us now, real strong out there. And just try to stay connected. I do a lot of traveling. As I said before, they snatched an older YouTube channel I had. I got to 5K. They snatched me off the internet. But it was a learning experience, you know. I now know to be careful when you touch certain subjects, how you word it, what you actually say. So I'm moving and I'm growing slowly but surely. So I appreciate everybody who drops in, man. I really do. And on top of the auditing, I'm gonna be doing, you know, my travel. Jesus Christ, I want to play this video. I don't know if they might snatch the whole live off. I wonder if I turn the volume down. If I turn the volume down, does the volume on the video go down? Let me see. I wonder if I turn the volume down. Yeah. Well, my first video, I'm not gonna play it because the Kanye West video, I mean, music is in it, so I think they might actually flag the whole live, so I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, I'm gonna get into a little bit more vlogging, going around Thailand, see if the ladies are out today. Yeah, there they are. The bar girls chilling down there. I'll take a couple more walks around than usual. Try to actually go online. It's been a lot going on. I haven't been in here. Been here in Thailand for 2 years, so it's a lot of people I've been catching up with. A lot of things I got going on, but appreciate you guys for dropping in. See you guys later.